everyone, welcome to Craft Addict K. I'm Carla, and this is our Carla's Catch Up in the New Year. Today is January 7th. It is Friday. I took the day off thinking I was going to go to a funeral, and it turned out it was last evening. So I still took the day off and had my mammogram done because it's that time of year for me. I hope you all have your mammograms done like you're supposed to. Whether you're male or female, doesn't matter. Still should have your mammograms done quite regularly. So this is a channel about cross-stitch. If you found yourself here, thank you for coming. If this is, you've been coming and you've been watching my videos, I appreciate it. Please make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button, just because it's nice to know that people are here and they're watching. Let's see, what can I tell you? We finished up our 12 days of Christmas, so I haven't talked to anybody since Christmas, and so I feel like I have a lot to show, a lot to share, and now it's already into the first week of the new year, and we just got our first snow last night. So there's that. So we're going to talk about whips. We're going to talk about some honorable mentions. We're going to talk about some of the groups I'm in. We're also going to do a little video at the very end because I was asked about my laying tool. That was a gift to me, so I am going to insert a quick little video. I wouldn't even call it a tutorial, but it explains what I was talking about when I said I take my thread over the laying tool and then I pull the tool out, then it keeps it from getting your threads twisting, and it helps your threads lay flatter. I use it if I have 2 or more threads going. So hope that helps. So how we usually start is honorable mentions. So let's talk about honorable mentions first. I did find my little handy dandy notebook. And so one of the things, and this is my StitchCon notebook, and I still write all my little show notes per se. I brought my Kindle as well because I was supposed to tell you guys about this author weeks ago. And I completely, not forgot, but forgot. Every time I sat down the videos, it wasn't written on my show notes, and so it just went out of my head. I want to tell you about a new author who is part of the stitching community, so I feel like we need to support one of our own, and her name is Darcy Llewellyn, and she now has her second book. I just saw that was released in December. I didn't realize it was coming so soon. So Darcy, I am so glad. I have not had a chance to even start your book yet, but I do. I'm so excited about it. I've talked about it on Zoom. I know some of my friends have already purchased it. I saw on Goodreads it's rating at a 5-star from the people that have commented. So I think you're onto something, sweetheart. So keep it up. Keep it up. So I have it. It is in my Kindle. All right, so I'm going to insert a picture here of the book and what it looks like, so you know what you're looking for. So it is a science fiction of sort, love story of sort, mild romance, and let's have some reading time, shall we? So the book's called, I wrote down, Ursus, Borealis, and the preface on this is, I'm going to read it to you. When Selena's mentor insists she needs to find a new life, she puts her faith in his convictions and moves to a small town in the Sierra Nevada mountains, where she discovers her creative niche in a quaint old pub, new friends, and a sexy man whose barely restrained power draws her like a magnet. Does that intrigue you yet? But these discoveries soon teach her that there's much more to the world around her. And behind the man she's falling hard for lurks a beast whose primal nature will challenge Selena to answer its demands in ways she never imagined. Will Selena accept the altered reality of her life in time to fulfill her destiny, a destiny that requires her to become a warrior who will battle an ancient enemy that has crushed all those like her who've come before? I don't know about you, but I'm ready to read this. Sounds very intriguing. So let me just say, if you're interested, look it up. It's on Goodreads. You can get it on Amazon. I'm sure it's at the bookstores. I have not been to a bookstore as of late to look, but I'm sure it is. I loaded it in my Kindle. And it is Ursus Borealis, and it is part of the first in a series called the Starlight Chronicles. And the second one I saw when I was saying, boy, I haven't read that yet, and I went to look it up. I saw she already has her second one out, and the second one is called Drago, I could be saying that wrong, Incendium. So very exciting, and that's the second in the Starlight series Chronicles. So I'm really excited. I hope that you are too. Let me know if you've read it or if you plan to read it. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. I don't always share books on this channel, but I had to share this because Darcy's one of ours. She's one of our peoples. So there is that. Okay. So moving on from there, let's talk cross stitch. So I like to do my honorable mentions first because we're such a big community. So let's talk Chris from XrossStitch. Chris from XrossStitch. If you haven't watched him, I encourage you to watch him. He did a holiday wrap-up extra video, and it had me laughing, had me crying. Oh my goodness. So he has an actor background of sorts, and he talks about that, but he shared a story from one of his viewers earlier in the year, and so all year he's had something called Ted's Change Jar, if you've ever heard of it. So the story was, and I could not ever do it justice, but just to give you an idea, one of his subscribers wrote about her father, Ted, who would go out with the kids and they would coax him into standing on his hands to be like entertainment for the kids in the neighborhood. And then he would stand on his hands and then he'd go back in the house. Well, then the kids would all gather up all the change that fell out of his pockets, and they thought as children that they were getting one over on said dad. And as they became adults, they found out that Ted would go out to do the handstands after he filled his pockets with his change that was in the dresser drawer. So that he knew what he was doing and he knew what was going on. So the kids weren't getting one over. But anyway, that evolved into Ted's Change Jar. And so Chris from XrossStitch, based on the comments that people left, was putting change into Ted's Change Jar. And at the end of the year, he was donating it to Dolly's library to purchase books for children. And you could do like the Buy Me a Coffee link. Some people would just donate it directly to Dolly on his behalf. And he was telling us the story on his most recent video. And it was very touching. And I wanted to share it because I think Chris is genuine. He comes across as very genuine to me. And in his love of this community. And I just, he just touches a place in my heart whenever he talks about Ted's Change Jar and the impact. But let me just tell you, like, the total amount that was raised between people that donated in his Ted's Change Jar's name, in the comments, in the random the random kindness of strangers that donated to his channel week after week after week, whether it was 50 cents or $5 or $20 or $1,000, it's his story to tell. But let me say that there was a significant amount raised, over $4,000, and I think that is fantastic. And so if you want to know more, check out Chris's Cross Stitch, and I will put his link to his channel in my description box below, because I do think that he is genuine and I want to support him. So there you have that. Okay, so the other person that I'd like to also mention, because I do 3, I try to limit it to 3 as best as I can, and that would be, I'm hoping I'm saying this right, Bobo Jessie Stitches. And how I found Bobo Jessie Stitches is we are doing No New Starts yearly event, the traveling trip across the United States. And part of our travels, we are posting for YouTubers that are in the States that we're going to, that have a floss tube channel, that they can post so that we can go and visit with them as we're doing our travels. And thank you. Some of you I've seen comment on her videos that No New Start sent you, and that is fantastic. I love it. So I went to see Bobo, Jessie Stitches. Really love her content, love her whips. Her videos aren't that long, so please feel free. Stop in over and tell them Craft Addict K sent you, because I'd like to see when some of my subscribers go other places and look. Now don't forget about me, because I'm still here and I like hanging out with you. So don't leave me here by myself. But definitely warrants a look if you're looking for some more. And she is from Texas. Bobo Jessie Stitches is from Texas, and that's where we started our trip at. So, all right. Do you guys want to talk about whips? Do you really want to see? I had some starts because it was the end of the year. I have 4 Whip Go boards. Yes, I will update you on my Whip Go status at the end of the month. But I've already blocked off two of my Whip Goes. 2 of my projects are done from the Whip Go. All right, so let's jump in. Shall we jump in? All right, I know I keep pointing. I've got my binder, my Happy Planner 2022. I've done a video on this and how I track everything. I'm just going to give you a little blip of an example. So here is, I know it's glary, but there is my project for Anzac. And how I use my challenge sheets is this is the group, and these are the stitches that I needed. So as I do the stitches, I put on here what it is that's needed. When I finish that requirement, I highlight it off. And then I put the next one. If it's not highlighted, like up here, Whip Go, I've got an open picture in Whip Go. I'm not done yet. After I finish stitching on Anzac, I subtract the stitches I've done that day from my total, and I put in the next number. So that the next time I come sit to work on Anzac, I know I need to do 1,183 stitches to complete my Whip Go, and I don't have any pictures currently open with any of my events, so I need to look and see, can I tie them to any challenges, any weeklies or monthly challenges. So if that helps you, here's one. Actually, this is a good one to show you. This is a walk through the Highlands. So you can see I have my groups. You can see how I've added my next ones, what I needed to do. Like Semi-Sane has an animal hunt going on. I needed 1,500 stitches for whatever I am currently hunting. It's actually, let me tell you, it's 800 stitches. But because I was working here and I had completed 700, I knew my pattern keeper needed to tell me 1,500 because I needed 800 stitches for the next animal. So I added the 800, put it so it made it 1,500 because I was still stitching on it for the day. And then at the end of the day, I subtracted off, and now I am down to, I need 61 stitches left the next time I work on this in order to get my certificate for the animal I'm hunting. Is that confusing? I hope it's not too confusing. It's my organization. It might not work for you, but I get asked a lot because I'm in a lot of groups. How do you keep track? This is how I keep track. I have the groups I'm in, and each project has their own worksheet of pages. That's how it works for my brain. It helps me keep things separate. Doesn't work like that for everybody, but that works for me, and I found that works for me, so that's what I'm sticking to. Okay, so on top of that, I have this is my, shall I show you? This is my January whip list. So because I have 4 Whip Go boards, and Jessie Marie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff, she pulled number 2 and number 19. I pulled those 8 projects for the month, and those are going to be my focus, so I wrote them down. And I'm in Daily 30s annual animal hunt, and you had to have 3 projects for that. One of them happened to be one of my Whip Go projects that was already called. So I needed to pull the other 2 projects out of my 80 whips. And so I ended up with 10 this month that I'm focused on. So these are my 10 whips. And these are the stitches I've done each day and on what whip. So it helps me kind of keep track. So Anzac got a lot of love. So did a walk through the Highlands. So let's just jump right in, shall we? Because we are already 15 minutes in. You haven't seen a single bit of stitching and you're probably sitting there going, what the heck? All right. So walk through the Highlands. This is a Heaven and Earth Designs by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. She looks like this. And I will try to poke in a picture of what it looked like at the beginning of the year, because I want you to see progression. And I have those pictures because I did my whip album for No New Starts 2022. So that should be in here somewhere. And this is where I got. So far, I've done 1,439 stitches last evening, and this was a restart. So there is that, and I've been working my way down, and we're going to get to her here soon. So not much to look at, but there is stitches there that wasn't there before. So that's a win, right? The whip wins. It's my philosophy this year. No matter what, the whips always win. Okay, so let's see. Let's pull out. Aha! I have in my little handy dandy bag here, and I did pull out some of the patterns so I could show it. Cross Stitch Nation. There you go, by Heartstring Sampler. I am doing this as a sal with my friends Sarah King from Sarah's Stitching Kingdom, Hannah Dowling from Hannah Dowling Stitches, Corinne and Colleen from Grace Note Stitchers, and I believe there's a couple, I think Crystal Rowe is in this as well, and Crystal has a channel called Crystal Rowe, and it's Crystal with a K, and I'm not sure who else. I know there's some other people and I don't want to leave you out, but this is how we're doing it. We each picked our own fabric, we're each doing our own stitches. However, Colleen spins a wheel at her video as to who gets to pick the first character and what colors. So it turns out that I was the one picked, and so I need to tell you in my video so that they know that I have chosen the queen down here, this one right here, this one, ladies, this is me, brown hair, guys. This one, and my color for my dress, I am going with purple. And you can use any shade of purple. So you can go with a dark purple, a light purple, a variegated purple, but that's me when you get there, because all of us started over here. I've been watching videos. So everybody's got to get across in order to get their counts. So whether they start down here or they start up here, have fun stitching, Hannah. Okay, so where did I get? Well, let me tell you. Not that far. Okay. Because this was a new start after Christmas, but before New Year. So there's some of those stitches here. But I have done, since the new year, 315 stitches. So, and this is on, I'm going to tell you. Oh, let's see. What fabric did I put this on? I purposely... I need my project cards, and I haven't filled it out for this yet. You all are screaming it at me. I know you are, because I had it written down somewhere. Well, let me just tell you. I think... I'm going to have to tell you next time because I don't know and it's not here handy. So, I wrote on my card, Cross Stitch Nation South. That's all I wrote. Here's some of the flosses I pulled. I don't know that I'll use all of them. It's going to depend on what everybody else pulls. I have my working copy. I think it's a Fortnite fabric, but the card is not here anymore, so I'm betting that I lost the card. But I think it's a Fortnite fabric. And I think it's 32 count. But look at the flowers. Don't they pop? I like stitching on it. Oh, and you're asking me about my my improvised handy dandy PVC pipe frame. I ran out of Q-snaps. Don't tell, but I ran out of Q-snaps. I, a long time ago, had ordered Q-snap clamps, extras, different sizes, because I was going to do the PVC frame. The problem is when I put this in my Lowry stand, because it's round on that side clamp, it was just kept falling and it really wasn't working. So I just got rid of it. I was like, forget it. This isn't working. Put it on the back burner. Well, recently I had the corner clamp on my Lowry stand and I thought, you know what? I ran out of Q-snips. Let me try. I had this PVC pipe still sitting around. Let me try it. So I put some of them together. They're just the width that I want. They're not glued. They twist. So I can tighten. Let me do this the right way. So I can twist here and it will tighten. Can you hear that? Drum tight. I can tighten, tighten, tighten. Push in the ends. And look, I mean, it's pretty good. It's definitely easy enough that I can stitch on it. So, and then whenever I'm done stitching, you know, on the scrolls, I just loosen it up. So I untwist it. But it's not glued, so I can twist it. It twists here. Sometimes I twist so much I pop it out. It is what it is. But, you know, as far as cost-wise, much more efficient on the pocketbook than, say, the Quantum frame. No, or the Omnic frame. Now, or the roller frame, however. But I gotta say, you get what you pay for. This definitely works. I would not hesitate to use this. I don't know that I will spend as much money as I have been spending on the bigger frames. Not because they're bad, but for the money, and if I can get the same tightness with these, I would go with these. That's just my opinion. That's nothing more than my opinion. Everybody has their own opinions on things. I just know with as many whips as I have, wherever I can save some money, that's probably a better option for me. So I thought I'd share it with you guys. Okay. Let's see, what else do we got? Oh, I worked on Anzac this year. Look, I ran out of project bags. I know, imagine that, but I did. So I just got on Amazon and I got a bunch of these bags. They're the vinyl plastic, so I'm sorry if you're getting a lot of crunchiness, not intentional. But, so we got Anzac. 3808, I'm doing it. This is a Valentine's card that I made into a floss drop with a tag and a 3808 because I bought that on a cone and I thought it was cute. So anyways, this is on Paddock Lane Designs. Their fabric, I think she called it Neapolitan. This is for the Long Dog Sampler. Here's your cover photo. I am over in this part, right above where the kangaroos are. And let me see if I can pull my Garon back here a little bit. That is where I'm at. Let me pull the thread down here a little bit. Get it out of the way. There you go. So you can see the koala, and I think that's a fish, and there's a mouse. I think that's a bird of some sort, like a rooster or something. I think the kangaroos are going to end up being right around in this area. But fun stitch. I'm doing it over 2. I believe this is 28 count. Don't quote me because I'm not 100% sure. And, you know, as we can tell, Carla's keeping track is already questionable. It is loose on my Q-snap. Because this is a project for the whole month, and this is one I'm using for my daily 30 animal hunt for the month of January, I'm leaving it on the Q-snap because I'm going to be pulling it back in and out. So that's why some of these are still on there, Q-snaps, because I'm going to be continuing to use them. So, and on Anzac, so far this year, I've gotten over 1,000 stitches. About 1,020 stitches is in that so far. If you care and you track that kind of stuff. Okay. Then we have, oh, let's see, Heritage Sampler. Okay, so Heritage Sampler is by Plum Street. And this is my working copy. Oh, look it, I got better. So this is my working copy. Heritage Sampler, Plum Street Samplers. I like Plum Street. And it is on a 30 count antique lamb's wool linen. And I am doing it 2/2. And I really, okay, so this lamb's wool linen is stiff. I don't mean to curl up and be like, oh, stiff. But it is stiff. Like, I'm not used to, like, hard linen. Like, it's hard. I stitch mostly on even weave, but for some reason this was in my stash, and I like the color for this project. I thought it would make things pop. I don't know. Trying to show you. I went all the way down to there, and then I started coming across here on the top, and that's as far as I got. And I've done 500 stitches on this year so far. Obviously, this was a new start, so I had 200 stitches on it when I came into the new year. And I enjoy stitching on it, surprisingly enough. It's just, it's very stiff. And I don't know, is that a normal thing for lamb's wool linen? I'm not sure. But I do like stitching on it. So that's as far as I've gotten. All right. Pop that back in here. It's very weird because, you know, Samantha's not here to put everything away. And all of my Q-snaps are sticking up. That's another one of my whip goes. So I still have some stitches to do on that. Next up, this would be Erica Michaels, All Hallows Eve. This was a Gayron, their first Halloween box. And I know that she's going to be selling this at some point, I think this year. But this was in the Halloween box, so which came with this little project bag and my Gayron keychain. Ronnie does such a beautiful job on his bags, by the way. It has all the floss. I've started putting things on my floss drop as I've been stitching with it. I've been putting them on because it came with all the floss. Because Carla was trying to start all the things at the end of the year, and she did not have enough time to get all the things started. So we had to prioritize what we were doing. So this is on a 32 count Seraphim Fabrics. And if you remember, I asked, what do you guys think? Should I put it on Seraphim? It does, the picture looks so different than the fabric. And I was encouraged to go with what they sent, and that's what I did. Initially, I put it on, like I was going to put on my scroll rod, so I added a little pocket on the sides. Then I realized my orientation was off, and that wasn't going to work. So, I now have, and I don't know how well you can see it. Let me get that little thread out of there. But I started up in the corner where the, and I think it'll come out as I get the black and the orange. It'll be more apparent. And I put the like little lettering on here. I have some ideas that I might do with those little tombstones. I might put some friends' initials, you know, that I stitch with, that kind of thing. But, so that's where I am. I have not stitched on this in the new year. I just started the stitching. So I know it's 200 stitches because all I did was start it. And we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm trying to remember to look over here at the camera and not look at myself as I reflect back at myself. But I wanted you guys to spend a little time with me before things get really crazy in this travel. All right, next up is in this bag. What could that be? Oh, this would be my Heaven and Earth design by Randall Spangler called More Chocolate. It's a quick stitch. It's chocolate chocolate and more chocolate. This was a gift, random act of kindness to me from Colleen with Grace Note Stitchers. I needed to have 200 stitches. Look, it's a quick stitch. It's not big. So, you know, when you hear Heaven and Earth designs, they don't all have to be these humongous projects. This will finish 7 inches wide and 7 1/8 inch tall. So it's not, the stitching itself is only going to be 7 inches wide. It's not huge. There's not huge amounts of detail in the picture, so it makes it a good quick stitch. And that's where I'm at. I'm up in the corner. But there's definitely 200 stitches there. Haven't stitched on that in this new year. Hasn't come up on my whip go yet, but I do enjoy it. I did enjoy it when I was stitching on it. I was just like, 200 go, 200 go, 200 go. So I wanted to show you my starts. So let's see. Oh, I like this one too. Isn't that funny? Oh, this is so pretty. Oh, I like this one. Okay. So this one is on. This is a Sal that I'm doing with a lot of us. Janet Jabber, a lot. There's a lot of us doing this. It is called the Dreaming of Sal. I say a lot. I think there's 8 of us. Hannah, Dowling again, and Colleen. This one is more of a round robin. So what we've each done is picked out a Rosewood Manor Dreaming of, and it's the flower of our choices that's part of her set. And we stitch our part, and then we pass it to the next person on the list, and they're going to stitch a flower, and they're going to put their name, and then they'll pass it to the next person, and it's going to make a round robin. Look, a round robin. Okay, so I chose Dreaming of Tulips, and I started up here. So I needed to get 200 stitches, which I did, and I made it so that the next person should, when it's time to share this, will be able to know where to start at. So I'm putting this on Fortnite Fabrics. It was a fabric of the month called PB&J, Peanut Butter and Jelly. And it's 32 count even weave. This is the fabric. And that's pretty true to color. Beautiful fabric. And this is my stitching. So I got the corner. I got my first motif done. And then it has been put away because it's not one of my whip goes. So what happens when it comes around to me, whoever's the next one is, I'll see and count off of theirs, and hopefully I do their stitching justice. And we send floss along with our project, so everybody will get our fabric, our floss, anything that we substituted. But I think these colors are going to look so nice on this fabric. I'm just saying. I just think it's going to be nice. So, and I've done round robins with quilting, and we talked about, but I've not ever done it with cross stitching. So it'll be interesting to see other people's techniques, and if they do left over right, right over left, you know, what it will end up being. And I don't want to lose, I'm trying to keep everything together because I don't want to lose. So this was a new start, and I kept the card with this one. I really think I have a card over there for another, that one that's Cross Stitch Nation, I'll bet you is why I picked it up. I just didn't know where it went to. All right, so there is that. That was a new start before the new year started. All right, next up, and these were from Christmas on. I can't show you, well, I can show you this. Here's the picture. This is Hoops Designs. There are a bunch of ornaments, okay? And this set is specifically related to Rudolph. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You got the dentist. You got Cornelius. You got the heat miser and Santa and, you know, all the things, okay? So I started with her right there. I have a bunch of random pieces of little pieces of fabric. Some were given to me, some were just leftovers, some were things I just picked up because I thought, oh, I can stitch on that. You know, back in the early days when I didn't know what 28 count linen was, 32 count linen was, but I was like, oh, it's only, you know, 50 cents on eBay. So I got a bag of many different colors. So I just thought that'd be a great thing to start doing my stitches on. And so I picked out this one. And I don't know if there's a color. I did, oh, yep. This is a 28 count Quaker linen. It is lavender. And the piece is 9 inches by 12 inches. And that's what I got done. Her nose and her eyeball. So I'm going to make these, I think it's a side view. I think they're going to be about like this. So I could probably do it in a hoop, or I could do it, you know, I don't know. I'm kind of, as I'm stitching on it, at first I thought I was going to make it into an ornament, but they're ending up bigger than I thought they were going to be. So I might do like flat folds for my staff. I don't know. As I finish one, I plan to replace it with the next one because I'm doing Work Your Whips in the No New Starts group. So as I finish this one, I'm going to bring in another one. So there is that. Maybe that's what I should do with my pictures. At least I can just put it in here with my patterns and then I know exactly what I got. All right. Thank you for bearing with me as I kind of put everything away. Because if I didn't, I would be at a loss around here. All right. Next up, oh, this one didn't even get a project bag yet. I want to get one out. This is Huckleberry Farms. And sure is shooting. Oh, here we go. Huckleberry Farms by the Blue Flower. Many of you have been stitching this past year. I've seen it popping up all over the place. I am doing mine on Grace Notes Fabrics, 25 count Lugana, called Barbara. And I am doing this 1/1. Wasn't real sure where I wanted to start or what I wanted to do. Hopefully I did it okay. But where am I at? Look at this fabric. How pretty is this fabric, by the way? This is Barbara, Grace Notes Fabrics. All right, now let me bring you in closer so you can see, because it's a very pale yellow, but I'm not concerned because there's a lot of black and it's going to pop out when I get this black on there. But there is the start of my butterfly. So you can see that's this butterfly that's in the center. So I'm not concerned yet. I can see it better than you're seeing it, but there is wings here and wings there. So it has not come up on my Whitgo yet, but it was a new start. I was 200 stitches and going. I really enjoyed stitching on this fabric too. Thank you very much, Colleen, for making such a wonderful fabric, because I really enjoyed stitching on it. I didn't want to put it away, but I had to get all the starts done. So there is how that goes. Okay, we're getting close, guys. We're getting close. My next new start was Little House Needleworks, the Little House Neighborhood. And that's what it looks like. And this I'm doing on Paddock Lane Designs. They are out of Australia. Look at, I pulled all the floss out. And it is called Dusty. It's a 28 count even weave from Paddock Lane Designs. There you go. Snap it. Take a screenshot. Look her up. She does ship to the United States. And this is how big this project will end up being. This is Dusty. Very pretty neutral. And again, this was a new start. So I am up in the corner. And I did my 200 stitches just to say I had it meeting the No New Start guidelines. So that's where I am at. All right. And that was fun to stitch on too. I mean, it's an even weave, and I don't know. I do the loop method if I'm doing over 2. I try to make sure to do the loop method because to me it's definitely easier. Okay, so I was talking about the loop method. If you're not sure what that is, if you do a search on YouTube and say loop method of cross stitch, you will find all kinds of tutorial videos that are so much better than what I could put out. So I'm going to direct you in that direction. One more whip, and then we can get into haul. All right, look, got my Garon wrap, because, you know, this is a very special one. I saved it for last. I have this clipped onto my bag. This is the project we're talking about here, Baby Yoda. This was an Etsy purchase. It is 250 stitches by 350 stitches. It is 77 DMC colors. And I don't know how many pages because I put it on my Pattern Keeper. It is Pattern Keeper compatible. And let me get it all unwrapped so we can show you. Look at where I am. So much to show you. Yes, this is on another one of my PVC Make It Work. And look at my grind guard, because I have my arm down here. I just try and protect as much as I can anyway. So we have a lot to show on here, as you can tell. There we go. This was Samantha's asked me to stitch this for her, because I'm doing Rosie the Riveter for Rachel, and far be it for her not to have something from me. So I am working on it. I started this on December 28th. It was her birthday. I did a few extra stitches. I think there's 400 or close to 400 stitches, maybe 300. So that I could say I gave her an extra little special on her birthday. And that's when I started it. And I told her I would try and have it done before she graduated college. So there you go. Again, it's not on my WIPGO yet. Maybe it'll be next month. Who knows? So it will go back with my rest of my stash until it is time for it to come out to play for the month. So, all right, let me clip this on here. And so the clipping this with a little ring, now I know at a glance what's in this wrap, because when you have 80 whips, it's hard to keep track as to what's in what bag and wrap. And so any little thing that I have that can help me, I am all for it. Okay, that is the end of my whip bin so far. So we are starting into 2021. Okay, while we're going there, let's talk about haul, because I got some haul and I got some kindness. So we spent Christmas, which I talked about, at my daughter's house, and got to spend some time with the grandkids. And so my granddaughter, I have a granddaughter who is 7, I have a grandson who is 6, and another grandson who is 10 months old. And that's from my oldest daughter. Okay, she made me something, and I would be remiss not to share what she made me. So this is my kindness. She made this for me and brought it over and said that it was me. I think there's a resemblance there, don't you? And I have, what did she say? Pink and black zebra leggings on with sparkly red shoes, because I sparkle. I love it. It sits in by my iPad when I'm zooming. It's like my little stitching buddy. I sent her a picture and showed her where his home is, and she is tickled pink, and I am tickled to have her as part of my, look at the little pink fingernail polish she put on, as part of my repertoire from the grandkids. So my daughter, my oldest daughter, I don't talk about her much because she's married off and you know, doing her own thing, and she's very crafty, and I'm liking that she's starting to instill that craftiness in my grandchildren too. So that was very nice. Let's see, I have some, I want to show you. This is actually diamond painting, because now my daughter is starting diamond painting, and she's trying to do it with the older 2 kids, because they really like when I gave them their diamond painting. And I showed my Marvel superheroes diamond painting, and I have something on order that's not here yet for my granddaughter. So this is Dazzle Diamond Dreams, and it is an Etsy shop, and it's Dazzle Diamond Dreams Etsy shop. They're on Instagram by the same name. They have what is called paper minders, and I thought they were just cute as can be, so now I'm going to have to use them. All right, so this is one. The little girl, and look, it's thick. It is a magnet. It's a powerful magnet. It's got some substance, so you could put that, if you're diamond paint, you could use that to kind of hold your paper down or hold your paper back out of the way. But I saw that and I loved it, so I got that one. And then, not to be undone, because I had seen this one as well, and these are resins, but does this not say Carla all over it with the tree and the snowflakes and the big camper right there in the middle? She had one left. I took it. I don't know if she has more now, but I think I purchased her last one that she had at the time. Beautiful work. Magnets, definitely. You can hear it clicking. So now I can use them because I officially showed them. And they came wrapped up in paper, little tissue paper, and in bubble wrap, and in these great felt bags. Like these are blue felt bags. I'm going to be repurposing them into something, but I really like that. So I will be using those for somebody's gifts. Okay, and the other thing I got just today, and I'm looking around because I still think I have other things, but I don't know what I did with them. I might be already using them, so I'm sorry. If you sent something, I may already be using it. This came from Threadspiration on Etsy, and they are called fabric huggers for the Q-snaps. Well, I remember I won a package from the Fun Day Stitchers group when they had their last 24-hour cross-stitch event. Well, part of it, what they had was what they call these little peels. And so when I was doing my 200 stitch starts, I was able to use them at a quick to kind of control the fabric so I could keep going. And I really liked them. So I went ahead and ordered me a set. So there's 3, 6, 9, 12, and I ordered the rainbow set. So it helps to hold your fabric. So they unpeel, and they can go around your scroll rods, your Q-snaps. I was told, though, when you take them off, when you're done using them, to try and roll them as tight as you can. My friend Jamie said that will help them get their kind of spring, you know what I mean, their tensions back, I guess. So that is one of my hauls. My husband says the Amazon guy knows me too well. Maybe. And yeah, because I got some more, where are you at? There. I got some more washi tape holder. I needed another container. So now I have an empty drawer. But I needed the washi tape because, you know, I needed it. And then I got a sticker maker. There. And I can't think of anything else. Boy, wasn't that enough. Okay. So we have gone an extended amount of time. We've caught up on everything I could catch you up on. And I'm hoping that you enjoy watching all my whips and that you're having fun doing these catch-ups with me and hanging out. If you're in the No New Starts group, I hope you're having fun traveling. Hopefully you all got your rides and you're well on your way on your first leg, and we're camping and we're having game nights and lots of fun going on, lots of interaction, which is what we wanted. So I'm really tickled with how, I mean, the feedback's been pretty positive. So I like that. I think, you know, that was part of the plan. Bring in some stitchers to try some new challenges. Some of them have never been in challenge groups before, which is really neat to me. So it's given me another look at how far I've come in the challenges, but to see it from a new person's perspective and things that maybe need explained a little bit more. So it's good. We're learning, we're having fun, and that's the main thing. And our whips win. So I think that's it. My husband's taking me out to dinner tonight, so, you know, there's that. So I'm going to get some stitches in, and I'm going to try and get this video up while we're out and about. So if you have any questions, or you just want to share that you're here, please feel free, post in the comments. I do respond. If nothing, I give you a heart that you know I saw it. And so I don't forget, I'm going to quickly pop in that laying tool video right here. So I believe it was Anna, you were asking about that. And so this one right here, I'm going to pop it in, is for you. Okay, so some of you had asked about my laying tool that I received from Grace Note Stitchers and my gift from Colleen, and I wanted to share that with you. So sorry about the movement here. So this is, where's my camera at? There we go. So this is the laying tool, and it comes to a point at the end. I am told that you can use like a short knitting needle, would do the same thing. But we're going to see how this works. And this is great for keeping your stitches laying flat. So I'm a two-handed stitcher. So I kind of hold this in my hand as so. Hopefully this gives you the idea. You bring your needle up. You're going to put your needle back down. I'm stitching this with 2 threads over 2, and I'm trying not to bump the camera. And you see how I kind of loop it over my laying tool? It's very hard to do this when I can't see. And then as I pull it down, I pull my threads. It keeps my threads laying flat. This is at such a weird angle. Sorry, that's a little bit better because now at least I can see where I'm stitching at. Okay, so needle comes up. This is also stitching 2 over 2. Again, I lay my laying tool down. I'm going to put my, sorry, I'm trying to use my camera and everything's looking backwards to my brain today. Okay, so, and when I say 2 over 2, that's because that's, well, that's a whole nother video. Let's just say that. Again, I loop it over, and then as I pull down, you can see how flat my stitches stay. And when I say 2 over 2, I have 2 threads, and there's 1 hole, there's 2 hole right there. 1, 2. And I'm going to take it over to this corner. Right there. Right there. So if I come up here, think of it like a tic-tac-toe board. I'm coming up top, like so, pulling my thread through. Again, I'm going to lay my tool. I could even start down in my 1, 2. Make sure that's right because I'm looking through a very narrow window on my camera that I'm recording on. Yeah, okay, so then as I'm pulling that down, I'm laying my laying tool underneath, and you see it straightens out as the threads come off of your laying tool. It doesn't have any twist, so it helps so that it doesn't have that twist. So I can come in here for the second leg of my cross, directly up top. And of course I'm doing a video and everybody's going to yell my name, so hopefully this helps you. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to ask. I'll try and do better video on that. It was really hard. It was shaking. I'm sorry. But hopefully that helps make sense how I use the laying tool. I am by no way a professional. That's just what I do. Who knows if I'm even right. All right, everybody. Have a great stitchy day. And we'll see you next time. Happy stitching. Bye.